Why did you write this book?
The question comes then, whose decision or intention it was because of which I wrote this book.
This book would give to the humans. What is the advantage that they get?
Yes, in 2023 August, which was freeing the souls, the passage was opened up.
You said that this is different from all the religions that exist now. It's not a cult. Could you explain that further? How this?
I said, I'm not going to give you a new religion, because what does a religion give you?
What do you as a human get from this work?
The first thing I said, the work was about freeing the souls, which means I did not get anything.
What is the message that you want to give to the humans through your work?
The message that I want to give to the humans is, do not trust the messenger.
I welcome you to the iDreams podcast, where we are talking to Pradip Mukherji ji and Falguni ji, the author of Message from God, a book which is available in 5 different languages. I welcome you, sir and ma'am.
Thank you.
The first question that would come to me would be, why did you write this book?
It's a very unique book, and to write this book, it did not come from me. Now, if it is not my decision and if it is not my intention, the question comes then, whose decision or intention it was because of which I wrote this book. In order to understand that, I have to go back to a place which is 2015. In the year 2015, I became the messenger of God.
Right.
Before that, there was no God in my life. Before that, I was no messenger. Before that, I had no message to give to people.
Right.
So in 2015, God came to me.
Right.
When God came to me, God said, you have to work for me.
Right.
So I asked, who are you? He said, I am God. I said, I know many gods.
Right.
So which one? He said, I am the ultimate supreme.
Right.
So I said, okay, so the ultimate and supreme is Paramatma, and you are saying God. Now, because I think in English, we were mostly talking in English.
Right.
But I just confirmed that yes, he is Paramatma. Then I said, I know Paramatma already exists in our culture, in our human society.
Right.
So are you that one? He said, no, I am not that one. I said, same name, Paramatma, and you are saying that you are not that one.
Right.
Then who really are you? So then, before he told me, because he told me in order to know me, you have to know the ones who are claiming they are God.
Right.
And how they are not God.
Right.
So then he said that you have to work for me. I said, okay, what is the work that you need? He said, we have to free the souls. I said, why? He said, the souls are my children. Number 2, they are trapped in your universe. Number 3, the king of your universe doesn't want the souls to go back home.
Right.
I said, fine, but I am not interested in your children. I am interested in the humans.
Right.
So his interest was his children, my interest was the humans, and he said, okay, I'll do something for the humans.
Right.
But first we have to complete the work for which I came into your universe. So 2015 was when God came to our universe.
Right.
That is when I decided to work for God. But I told God that I don't trust you. I do not know you. I do not believe in you. Maybe you are God, maybe you are not. Maybe you are a figment of my imagination.
Right.
Maybe some entity or some angel is talking to me as God.
Right.
So as long as I do not know you, I will not believe in you. Number 1. Number 2, I will not revere you. Because normally what happens when it comes to the word God,
Right.
automatically people go into reverence and worshipping.
Right.
I said, none of this I am going to do. As far as I am concerned, you are a total stranger. But I will follow your instructions 100%. Because I am curious as to what work you are doing. I am curious as to whether you are truly God or not. and I am curious what you can do for the humans. So this is how my journey with God started. Now, as this work started, I came to know that there is a king.
Right.
And this king is the king of our universe. This king is the creator God.
Right.
This king is known as Mahadev.
Right.
This king is known as Allah.
Right.
This king is known as the Father. This king is known as Jehovah. This king is known as Vaheguru. This king is known as Ahura Mazda. So different names,
Right.
different culture, same individual,
Right.
same personality.
Right.
So I now came to know about the king.
Right.
Now the king came and told me, you cannot work for God. In return, I will give you anything that you want, either in your realm or in the spiritual realm. But I was in a place where I wanted nothing from life. And because I wanted nothing from life, he did not have any leverage over me. Also, I am a kind of a person that I said, I will work for God. So for me, there was no need to reconsider working for the king. Maybe if king would have come earlier, I might have worked for the king. But now that I had decided to work for God, I refused him that I am not going to work for you. And then started a whole journey. Initially, the journey was about bringing in 300 people who are fully aligned with the will of God.
Right.
It was not an easy task.
Right.
Because the will of God was not acceptable to the humans. But ultimately, after 5 years, we had 300 people. And the moment we had 300 people, our work actually went into a speed, very high speed. And in 2 years, we completed the work that God wanted us to do.
Right.
This was a work that happened in the non-physical world.
Right.
It was not in the physical
Physical
world
world.
that the work happened.
Right.
So I do not talk much about that work because it would not make any sense to the people.
Right.
But what I do talk about, and I was talking to them about all these things in the workshops that I was conducting.
Right.
And in 2023 August, we completed that work. God said, stop the workshop, bring in the knowledge of the message of the workshop into the book. That is how the book came in as the message of God, a very concise version of the whatever I was teaching in that 3-day workshop.
Right.
And that is how the book is now with the people.
You said that there is the work of God or Paramatma. What is it that this book would give to the humans? What is the advantage that they get?
Yes, in 2023 August, when God completed the work of God,
Right.
which was freeing the souls,
Right.
the passage was opened up.
Right.
They could all go back whenever they wanted to go back.
Right.
Then God said, okay, now I am going to work for the humans.
Right.
But God said that actually the humans will not welcome me because they have been programmed by their God in which there will be no place for me.
Right.
But still there will be a few people who would be curious and who will ultimately connect with me.
Right.
So I am actually in search of those people who will be curious, who will connect from God, and who would be willing to listen to the message of God. But the point here is, why do I really want to give this message to people? It's not that I am trying to convert people into a new religion.
Right.
It's not that I am trying to convert people into a new cult.
Right.
It is not that I am trying to project myself as a guru
Right.
or as a master,
Right.
as a prophet, as a teacher.
Right.
No, I am not doing any of these things. Then why would I really be interested in taking this message to the people? For two reasons. Number one, I follow the will of God, and God said, take this message to the people.
Right.
That is number one reason why I am doing this work.
Right.
And number two, God said that people can talk to the book. This is a book that is alive. And as they talk to the book about all their pain, all their suffering, all their misery, I will do some healing for them. Healing which will give them some relief. Not like I will make them blissful and happy. Not like I will take away all their problems. Not like I will sort out their life. Not that I will make their relationships beautiful. Not that I will cure all their disease. Not that I will give them, shower them with money. None of these things. And yet, they will have some experience of the world in which they live in, which would be different from before they came to me and talked to me. If this experience that I am going to give them is enough for them, then at the end of 1 month, they will have to decide, do they want to be with me or do they want to be with the king who gave them their religion, who gave them their spirituality, who told them that the king is a benevolent being, who told them the king is taking care of them. So they then have to decide, God or king.
Could you tell us more about this healing card?
This healing card, so basically there are two tools that God gave. One is this book, which I call the Messenger of God. The other is this healing card, and both are basically tools. In what way is it a tool? Now, the first thing, up till now, when religion gave God to people, what did religion say? Religion said that your God is kind, benevolent, compassionate, caring, really wanting to take care of you, everything which is positive. When I came to know about the king, I found the king to be exactly opposite of what he said in the religion, in the scriptures, in all the religions, whether it is Hindu, Islam, Christianity, whether it is the Sikh religion, whether it is the Persian religion, whether it is the Jewish religion. Everything that their God said, who their God is, the quality of their God is exactly the opposite of that. How can I say this? Because I interact with their gods the way I interact with people, the way I interact with you. And what is it that gives me the ability to cognize and perceive those gods and really come to know what kind of individuals they are? It is the blessing of God, because of which I come to know what kind of individuals they are, and everything in the hierarchy, down the hierarchy, in the upper worlds, which belongs to the deities and the angels, and in the lower worlds, which belongs to the asuras and the devils. A direct conversations with top to bottom everyone. And as I interacted with them, as I explored them, as I poked them to see how they all react, I came to know about who they are, what they are, what kind of beings they are. And I came to know their agenda. Now, in coming to know about their agenda, this is one thing very interesting that I just want to point out. Right from the time when I was growing up, my parents never gave me religion, even though I am a Hindu, born in a Brahmin family. I never worshipped anyone. My parents never made me worship anyone. They never took me to the temples. They themselves did not worship anyone, nor did they ever go to the temples. In my house, there was no God. Not like they said there is no God. Not like they said they are against God. This was not a conversation that existed in our house. Neither in favor nor against. That is the place of neutrality I grew up in. So my parents said, you go and explore religion. If you find it okay, you become religious. If you don't find it okay, don't become religious. So I then started exploring all the religions. Now, two things I noticed. Number one, I noticed pain and suffering all around,
Right.
within me, in my family, in my relatives, in the society that I live in, and in the world through which, about whom I come to know through the media.
Right.
I saw pain and suffering in the one who is on the street and in the one who have their private jets. That means no matter where you are, pain and suffering is inherent in the humans. I also saw they are very negative. Those who are trying to be positive are either trying to be positive out of some fear or out of some greed. These are the two things that motivates them to be positive. If these two things are taken away from their life, they would least care about positivity.
Right.
So either it comes from a part of their programming which says I must be a good person, or it comes from a greed. I must create good karma or I must go to heaven, or it comes from a fear. I don't want to go to hell and I want to cancel the bad karma that I have. Now these are the things that takes people into positivity. But people cannot remain there for long. Even they turn negative. Now, this is one thing that I noticed. The second thing that I noticed was the scriptures always said how you can come out of your negativity, but they never talked about why you are negative. At the most, they said you have bad karma. Then I would question, why did I create bad karma? They said because you had a free will. That is why you created bad karma. You could have created good karma. I said, fine, so I have free will. I heard you. But tell me one thing. For next 24 hours, can I keep myself positive through my free will? Can I keep my mood high with my free will? Can I keep my energy pure and high with my free will? Can I ensure that not a single bad thought will enter into my mind with my free will?
Right.
Can I do all these things with my free will for next 24 hours? And they said, no, probably not. I said, not probably not, guaranteed not.
So there is no free will. As we
And that's why I'm telling people, where is the free will? Your thoughts are not yours, your feelings are not yours, your emotions are not yours. Can you tell me that why did you fall in love with someone? And can you tell me why did you fall out of love with someone? Did you orchestrate both? And if you didn't orchestrate both, where did it come from? Why do you hate a person? Did you decide that from tomorrow I am going to hate that person? That means it was not you who decided. Are you orchestrating the events of your life? They said, no, we are not orchestrating. We can create the experiences of our life. I said, with what? Because the only thing you have to create experiences is thought, feelings, and emotions, and none of them are in your control. How do you create positive experiences? You will force yourself, and when you force yourself to do something, it rebounds in a very bad way.
Right.
So now I got it very clearly. There is a lot of pain and suffering in the world. No one knows why this pain and suffering is. Only when God came to me and I came to know about the King, finally I came to know He is the one causing all our pain and suffering. He is the one telling in every religion He is benevolent, but He is very cruel. He is the one creating all our wars. He is the one creating all the murder and rape. He is the one making us have all negative thoughts and emotions. He is the one making humans fight with other humans.
Right.
So he is not what he says, and that is the one people go and worship. And that is why I tell people, the very God that you worship, it doesn't matter in which religion, any religion you take, the very God that you worship is the one who is causing all your pain
Suffering.
and suffering. Now, it is established that God is not going to take away the pain and suffering of humanity.
Right.
Now, I had an alternative when God came to me, and finally, God said, I will give them some relief. He didn't say, I will make them blissful. He didn't say, I will make them happy. He didn't say, I will cure each and every disease. None of these things. He said, I will give them some relief. What do they need to do? They can either talk to this book or they can talk to this healing card. Now, this both has a face of a human. And God says, this is no more the face of a human. This will be the face of God on this planet for the humans at this point in time. He is not talking eternally.
Right.
He is talking at this point in time.
So the healing is momentary, you mean?
The healing is in the moment where God gives some relief. What you have to do? You have to talk to this book or to this card that I am having headache, I am having stomach ache, I am scared, I am full of anger, I am full of jealousy, I am full of negativity, I don't know what to do, I am so confused. Like this, you keep on talking to the card or to the book, whatever it is that you are going through and making you upset.
Right.
How long? Only for 1 month, only for 30 days.
Right.
And what will happen at the end of 30 days? You decide, did God deliver anything because of which you are willing to leave the king and come to God? If God did not deliver, you now can go back to your king and drop God. So that is how I am giving this to humans as a utility. I am giving God as a utility, not to revere, not to worship, but to use. And if God has no utility value, drop the card, drop the book.
You said that the events, the thought, feeling, emotions are all orchestrated.
Yes.
Some people say that this world that we live in is a dream world. Could you
Yes.
throw some light on that?
It is a dream world because everything is pre-written.
Right.
All our dreams are pre-written. They happen because of something orchestrating either from our subconscious or unconscious mind or someone orchestrating from the outside. But it is being orchestrated, pre-written. In the same way, our life is pre-written. We are dreaming it to be happening. And this whole creation of the universe is again a dream happening in the mind of the king. And this mind of the king has a name called matrix. And a portion of the matrix comes inside us, which we call as the spirit. And this spirit is orchestrating the hypnosis, orchestrating the dreams, orchestrating our life, orchestrating everything, and yet making us feel that we live in a real world, that we live in a world where we have free will, and we live in a world where our desires and intentions can be manifested as we want. This is the hypnosis that has been given to us.
You said that this is different from all the religions that exist now. It's not a cult. Could you explain that further? How this?
Yes, many people ask me, are you creating a new religion? Because every time the messenger came, a new religion came up.
Right.
I said, I'm not going to give you a new religion, because what does a religion give you? Basically, it teaches you how to be good.
Right.
It gives you a moral code of conduct.
Right.
It tells you what is good and what is bad.
Right.
It tells you what you should do and what you should not do.
Right.
It tells you that you have to worship a god. It tells you that you have to worship or revere the prophet.
Right.
In the work that I am doing,
Right.
there is no worshipping, there is no reverence.
Mm-hmm.
This human is only acting as a postman.
Right.
Unlike other religions, let's say Christianity,
Right.
Jesus was a very evolved person.
Mm.
He was a very loving person. He was someone who was free from all his karmic baggage. I am not like Jesus.
Right.
I am not holy, I am not saintly, I am not pure. I am still a person who has the same negativity as anyone has. I still have the same fear that anyone else have. I still have the needs which other people have. The only one thing that I don't have which other people have is I do not want anything in my life except what life gives to me. Only one thing that makes me a little different.
Mm.
But that doesn't mean I'm trying to start a new religion. And I don't know how long this work will be.
Right.
This work is only for today. If tomorrow God says stop the work, God is going back, then tomorrow the work stops.
Right.
So my personal agenda is nothing in this.
You said God says. How do you communicate with God?
I communicate with God through telepathy,
Right.
which means thought to thought.
Right.
So I don't hear,
Right.
I have not seen God,
Right.
I have not felt God.
Mm.
The only thing is I can cognize
Mm.
the thoughts that God is giving to me.
Right.
I can cognize the thoughts that King is giving to me.
Right.
I can cognize the thoughts that Shiva or any other deity is giving to me. I can cognize the thoughts of say Sai Baba or Mahavatar Babaji giving to me.
Right.
I can distinguish who is giving me these thoughts.
Right.
So, and I can do this only because God has given me the gift to distinguish.
You said it's God's work to free the souls. What do you as a human get from this work?
The first thing I said, the work was about freeing the souls, which means I did not get anything.
Right.
Because if the souls are free, what does it give to me?
True.
The second work that I have is when I said that right now God is willing to give some relief to the humans. In that, I personally am not benefiting anything either in terms of creating good karma, because I don't have any more karma,
Right.
either monetarily,
Right.
either in terms of getting a ego satisfaction that I have so many followers,
Right.
or in terms of like I have sold so many books or I have given so many cards.
Right.
No, I don't have any of these agenda for me.
Right.
Then why am I doing this work?
Right.
Only for two reasons. Number one, because God said do it.
Right.
And number two is because I care for the humans. And if I can touch one human who says that thank you for bringing God into my life, which means in some way they felt being touched by God, that itself is enough for me. I want nothing more from them.
We have so many gods here. Why did you bring?
Because those gods were creating pain and suffering for the humans. This God is not currently creating any pain and suffering for the humans. On the contrary, giving relief to the humans to the extent their storyline allows. Because God will not change the storyline.
What is the message that you want to give to the humans through your work?
The message that I want to give to the humans is do not trust the messenger. Do not believe in the messenger. Do not agree with the messenger. Treat the messenger with total doubt and skepticism. But explore the message that the messenger is giving. Not in terms of what is inside the book, which you might find interesting, but in terms of talking to the book and talking to the healing card, whichever you have access to.
Right.
If you have access to the book, then talk to the book.
Right.
If the book is not there, talk to the healing card.
Right.
If the healing card is not with you, the paper card,
Right.
download the digital healing card from my website, which is known as alakgod.com,
Okay.
which means ALAKH, alak,
Right.
God, .com.
Right.
In this website, the digital card is there in 5 languages, it may be more.
Right.
Download the one you want in your language and talk to that digital card. Keep it in your mobile. Every day open it. Whenever you want to talk to it.
Right.
30 days experiment.
Right.
And that is the message I am giving to the humans, that give me a 30-day experiment and a chance.
Right.
I want nothing from you. I don't want your money. I don't want your saying that thank you to me. I don't want you to come and contact me. I don't want you to propagate my work. No, nothing, none of these things. But if you feel like that you have been touched by God, and if you feel like, no, I must take this thing to the people that I know, then that is your decision. It is not what I am asking from you. I am very happy with what I am doing. Within my limited resources, I am taking this work to the extent I can to the people. That is my final message to the humans.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much.